After the news that we're not going to be getting any new Battlefield game or even any new Battlefield content for quite some time, I thought I'd take a look at some upcoming games that might take our interest and offer us something a little bit different. The first one I'm going to be taking a look at is called Project Wraith, and that's what this entire video will be dedicated to. You might have seen videos on it in the past from other channels, you might have seen a bit of discussion going on Twitter. Project Wraith is a fast-paced FPS game developed on the Unreal 4 engine by a small group of indie developers called Grassroots Studios. They're a small team of passionate people aiming to create something that places gameplay first. You can see the teaser that they recently released in the background now. It's one of these games that I wouldn't expect the world from, but it could be quite interesting, and I'm going to be following it from start to finish just to see how it develops. I haven't really done this since we saw World War III come out, which was an incredibly promising game that never really delivered on any of those promises to the sort of level that we expected. It wasn't awful, but you know, we were expecting a Battlefield style game and it just wasn't on that level. Before we get started though, I just want to say that this video is not sponsored. I've not been contacted by these developers. It's just something that I saw. A friend of mine posted it saying you might be interested in this, and since then I've just been keeping an eye on it. I also want to say that if you're interested in this sort of content, stuff that is moving slightly away from Battlefield but staying in that modern military FPS sort of genre, leave a like on the video and let me know down below. It's also worth letting me know what you think of this game down in the comments, but be honest about it. There's no point in saying you think it's going to be amazing if you're not sure. Honesty really helps in these situations. It keeps things realistic, and I think that's exactly what this game is all about. Now, I'll say this straight away, the game is small scale and it's being developed by a small team. Do not expect masses of content or a huge AAA release. This is an indie project built by someone with a vision and a personal goal. Fitting with their name, the whole thing is a grassroots project, meaning funding and other key aspects are going to be hard to come by. I haven't played the game yet and we don't have access to any alpha yet either, but we do have a few clips to go by. This gives us a taste of what the game is going to be about. Simplicity, going back to things that we used to love, getting rid of all of the rubbish and bloat that we see on a lot of the modern AAA FPS games. Now, I don't know if most of this stuff is being built from the ground up or taken directly from the Unreal Engine marketplace, but honestly, I don't think it matters for a project like this. We are talking about a very small scale project that is designed to bring some of that traditional FPS gameplay in the simplest form, removing all of that rubbish that has bloated the current crop of AAA and indie titles into these unfun and expensive experiences. This project is designed to be a bare bones, boots to the ground FPS game, focusing on player skill, that core gameplay experience in its simplest form. So my initial opinion, as I said, I'm not massively hyped about this. I don't think it's going to be the next CSGO or the next Battlefield. I'm not even going to mention that sort of comparison. I'm just going to give you a completely unbiased and honest opinion based purely on what I've seen so far and shown you throughout this video. It's an indie project and it does offer so much promise. We've seen it before with projects that promise everything and then fail to deliver, but honestly I think a lot of the time that's when these projects offer the world. They offer you absolutely everything, every single aspect of an FPS game, with content coming in the future, new maps, releasing with so many vehicles and weapons and gadgets. It's fun to see it, but when it does come out, it fails to deliver and never comes to fruition. This often isn't down to the developers failing, but I think maybe more down to the fact that game development is really, really tricky. The hype often outweighs the final project. A few key things to take away from this project. I'm taking most of this directly from the website, so it's without gameplay to back it up really, but they're focused on fluid controls and gameplay that will be easy to learn and hard to master. This in itself will reward players with a sense of achievement for mastering the game. Think learning all the angles on your favourite FPS game or mastering the recoil on some weapons, that sort of skill. The idea for this project is to create a competitive experience catering to skill of all levels. You'll be able to create your own servers, build your own communities, take part in events, that sort of stuff. It's one of the main goals of this project really, placing the community at the core and keeping that community together. Straight from the website, they state, "We will support you and not abandon you like the AAA games by artificially segmenting our player base with yearly releases and paywalls." It's nice to hear that fairly refreshing outlook on the gaming experience we currently receive. And again, new maps and weapons will always be free, with everything unlocked from day one, no pay to win. Cosmetics will be there to support the project, no loot boxes, no unfair grind or paywalls. You pay for the game, and if you want to help support the project from then on, you can buy some cosmetics, but all future content will be free. So, as I said, small scale. This game is launching with 2 maps as far as I'm aware, Woodfall and Zelaznicki. Probably pronounced that incorrectly. Woodfall looks like a kind of woodland map as you'd expect with that name. We've got some early pictures of the map in the background. The white blocks are to be replaced by other assets and probably have been since these pictures were taken, but it lets you see the general setting and aesthetic of the map. Zelaznicki looks to be in some Soviet-style port with the good old-fashioned shipping container layout. Really good if you're looking to make an FPS game. Shipping containers are responsible for some of the best maps I've ever played in FPS games. It reminds me of a bit of a crossover between PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and Noshar Canals just on first look. Both maps are probably going to be quite fun to play, but of course until we play them it's very difficult to say. When it comes to the modes, I believe we've got Rush, Domination, Capture the Flag and Search and Destroy, so again, small scale modes. Weapon customization looks pretty fun, it's nice and clean, and definitely the way I'd set it out if I was to do weapon customization. This weapon workbench is just the way to go with it. And then 2 factions and a really clean looking UI. You can see a screenshot of that in the background. Nice and simple, and all you need really for this sort of game. To explain this game in a nutshell as I look to wrap up this video, here is a quote taken directly from the website. "Project Wraith will always be a fast-paced, bullshit-free experience that seeks to do away with frustrating gameplay design choices of modern games. No mines, no vehicles, no stun grenades, no overpowered grenades or launchers, no overpowered shotguns or snipers, a fast time to kill, and a large focus on objective-orientated gameplay and anti-camping mechanics. Play the objective." Some great buzzwords. Let's see if they actually mean anything when we get to play the game itself. As I said at the start, this could just be another game that gets hyped up and amounts to nothing. However, as I'm going to start looking at a variety of upcoming projects that fit that modern military genre, I'm planning to remain fairly realistic about all of them. It's a small scale project, but if done correctly, it could just be what people need. A game on the side that is going to be quite fun with a couple of friends, an arena to test your skill, and if done right, as I said, it could be a lot of fun. Let's keep an eye on it, and I'll come back with further videos when more significant news is released. Thanks for watching. Remember to let me know what you think of this idea of looking at other games down in the comments, and of course what you think of this game, Project Wraith. I'm interested to see what you have to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.